Hello, High Achiever. Welcome to today's podcast. This is the episode 3 of the High Achievers podcast, and I am so glad to have you here. First, let me say a big thank you to everyone who has listened to the first 2 episodes. The feedback has been overwhelming. Hearing that really warmed my heart. It is the kind of encouragement that makes me want to keep doing more for you. Honestly, it is exciting to know that we are building a community here, a space where you can learn, grow, and find the inspiration you need to move forward. Before we dive into today's topic, I want to quickly remind you that we have moved this podcast to a private platform. Only subscribers will have access to the valuable insights and knowledge we are sharing. As I mentioned in the last episode, this move allows us to create a more focused and professional environment, especially since we are working with individuals who are serious about their careers. So, I encourage you to click the link in the description and sign up now. We've got some amazing topics lined up that you won't want to miss. Do not wait. Join us today and stay ahead in your professional journey. So today, let's dive right into something that I know will resonate with many of you. Let me ask, have you ever felt like you are doing everything right at work, but still not getting the promotion or salary increase you deserve? You are the first one to show up in the morning and the last one to leave at night. You go above and beyond, pouring your heart into your job, yet nothing seems to change. Month after month, year after year, you are stuck in the same place and you cannot figure out why. If this is you, let me assure you, you are not alone. I've been there myself. I know what it is like to feel invisible despite giving your best. I have experienced the frustration, the emotional toll, and even the doubts that creep in, making you wonder if you will ever be recognized for your efforts. It is not just about the lack of promotion, it is also about the feeling of being undervalued and unappreciated. That pain can affect you emotionally, mentally, psychologically, and even socially. This is what I want us to talk about today, the common mistakes that cost people promotions and how you can avoid them. But before we get into the details, I want to share my own experience. I believe it will help you understand where I'm coming from and prepare you for how to take the right step towards your own career advancement. Now, growing up, my mother raised me in some very tough circumstances. Life was not easy, but those circumstances shaped me into a hardworking and determined person. These qualities became a big part of who I am and how I approached my work when I got my first job after university. Unfortunately, that first job was in an environment with toxic leadership. But instead of breaking me, though, it fueled my determination. I worked even harder, hoping my persistence will make a difference. After some time, I moved on to a bigger company. This was a step up for me, and I was excited about the opportunity to prove myself. However, the reality of working in the new, fast-growing firm came with its own challenges. The company was just starting out, and there was a lot of pressure on everyone to be creative, committed, and focused on helping the business succeed. I was hired as both the accountant and the front desk secretary. And while I had some experience, I quickly realized that I was not fully prepared for the level of responsibility that came with helping a new company grow. The leadership team had high expectations, and the pressure to meet those expectations was intense. I worked tirelessly, doing everything I could to improve the situation. Over the years, as the company began to stabilize and things started looking up, I felt it was high time for me to be considered for a higher position. I believed my hard work and dedication deserves recognition. But this is where things took a turn. Office politics got in the way. People I thought were contributing less were being rewarded with promotions and higher incentives, while I remained stuck. I could not understand why. The biggest challenge for me was figuring out how to present my case to the higher-ups. I did not know what kind of evidence I needed to convince them that I was ready for promotion. I struggled with questions like, who should I approach? What should I say? What if I made the wrong move and offended someone in the leadership? On top of all this, I started doubting myself. I wondered if I was truly qualified for a promotion. I questioned whether if it was the right time for me or if I was still too young to be considered for a bigger role. This thought became a heavy burden. They drained my confidence and made me lose focus. Instead of pushing harder, I began to pull back. I blamed circumstances and other people for my situation, which only made things worse. It was a really tough period for me. But even in the middle of all that frustration, I made a firm decision. I told myself I will not give up. I was determined to find a way to break free from this stagnation. I wanted to understand what it really takes to get promoted and how to overcome the obstacles that were holding me back. So I started reading more, observing my environment, and studying successful people. I paid close attention to what worked and what did not. I began to see patterns and learn lessons that changed my mindset and approach. And that is why I'm here today to share those lessons with you. If you've ever found yourself in a situation like mine, I want you to reflect on your own experience as you listen to my story. Your journey may be different, but there are likely some similarities. The challenges you are facing might require similar actions to the ones I took, though you may need to adjust them to suit your specific situation. The truth is, getting a promotion or a salary increase is not just about working hard. It is also about working smart. It is about understanding your workplace dynamics, building strong relationships, and communicating your value in a way that's clear and compelling. These are the things I learned the hard way, and they made all the difference in my career. So, as we go through today's topic, I want you to keep an open mind. Think about how these lessons might apply to your own career, and most importantly, believe that change is possible. No matter where you are right now, you have the power to take control of your career and move towards the success you deserve. Alright, let's talk about one common mistake that many people make when trying to secure a promotion. That mistake is relying too much on hard work alone. Now, do not get me wrong, hard work is important, but believing that working hard and delivering great results is all it takes to get promoted, that is where things can go wrong. And let me explain it in a way that really hits home. You see, this belief often comes from how we have been shaped by our surrounding. Many of us grew up in environments where we were constantly reminded that opportunities are scarce. Think about it. How often have you heard people on the radio, TV, or even your own parents saying things like, "Jobs are hard to find," or "You have to work extra hard just to survive"? These messages stick with us, and the problem is that it creates a mindset of scarcity. making us think that opportunities are limited and that only those who grind the hardest will succeed. Religion sometimes adds to this. Do not get me wrong. Faith is wonderful, yes. But some religions' belief can unintentionally make you feel like you are not blessed enough if you do not have the promotion or salary increase you desire. Maybe you've even thought, if I just pray harder or do more this or that, maybe I'll finally get that breakthrough. This way of thinking can trap us into overworking ourselves without focusing on the things that actually make a difference. In my case, this belief led me to focus so much on external factors that I lost sight of what really mattered. I started blaming the system, the company, and even my colleagues for my lack of progress. I began to resent people who were getting ahead, even though they had no idea I felt that way anyway. It created a toxic mindset for me. The truth is, when you focus too much on the idea that opportunities are scarce, you can become blind to the ones that are actually right in front of you. Let me give you an example. I once worked in a position where I was very close to the decision makers, the people who had the power to make things happen for me. But I did not see the opportunity in that. I was so caught up in my frustration that I missed my chance to use that proximity to make myself more visible and valuable to them. On the flip side, there were people in the company who would have given anything for the kind of access I had. Yet, I failed to take advantage of it. Maybe in your case, you feel like you do not have that kind of visibility. But let me tell you this. It is not just about who you know. It is about understanding the value you bring and finding ways to communicate that effectively. Now, before I dive deeper into what I did to turn things around, let me quickly tell you about the 5-day career progression course. This podcast episode is just scratching the surface of what we cover in the course. The lessons, assessments, and stories from other people who have faced similar challenges will give you a much clearer picture of what you need to do to move forward. You will find all the detail in the description and I encourage you to check it out. So, what did I do? One of the biggest shifts I made was finding ways to involve myself in projects that made me relevant. It was not enough to just work hard. I needed tangible evidence of my value. Let me give you an example. I had a friend who was an exceptional performer. He always exceeded expectations and delivered incredible results. But he never volunteered for high visibility projects or meetings. He was so focused on getting a raise that he overlooked opportunities to showcase his skills in ways that could have opened doors for him. On the other hand, I knew a client who thought that simply exceeding key performance indicators would be enough to get noticed. But they lacked the networking skills to build relationships with the right people. This is where I realized the importance of self-advocacy. You have to learn how to speak up for yourself and you have to show others the value you bring to the table. And it is not just about bragging or seeking attention. It is about presenting your contributions in a way that aligns with the goals of the company. For me, this meant finding ways to measure my value and use that data to justify why I deserved a promotion. It was not easy at first, but once I started paying attention to the result I was delivering and how they impacted the company's success, I felt more confident in advocating for myself. Another thing I learned was the importance of building relationships with key stakeholders. Now, let me be clear. I'm not talking about manipulation or playing dirty office politics. I'm talking about genuine connections. Relationships matter in the workplace, and sometimes it is those connections that can help you get the visibility you need. At one point, I was operating from a place of fear and competition. I felt like I had to fight my way to the top, no matter what it looked or what it took. But that kind of mindset is exhausting and rarely leads to long-term success. What I've come to understand is that the energy you bring into a situation can either open doors or close them. When you approach relationships with authenticity and a willingness to contribute, people take notice. I won't go into too much detail here because I really want you to explore these ideas further in the 5-day career progression course. The course dives into all of this: the external factors, the internal battles, and the strategies you can use to overcome them. We even touch on energy levels and how your mindset can shape your reality. You see, your career advancement is about more than just hard work. It is about understanding your value, communicating it effectively, and building relationships that matter. It is about shifting your mindset from one of scarcity to one of abundance. And most importantly, it is about taking action to create the opportunities you deserve. If any of these resonate with you, I encourage you to take the next step. The 5-day career progression course is designed to guide you through every stage of this journey, from overcoming limiting beliefs to mastering the skills you need to succeed. You will find all the detail in the description. And I cannot wait to see how it helps you unlock your full potential. Now, let's talk about a common mistake that holds many people back in their careers, which is not aligning personal goals with the needs of their organizations. One reason this happens is that while we might genuinely want to solve problems for the company, our intentions are not always completely focused on the company's needs. What I mean is that sometimes we are more driven by the desire to impress, to get that promotion or salary raise, and in the process, we overlook the organization's most important priorities. It is normal to think this way. After all, we all have responsibilities, right? Paying rent, school fees, or meeting other financial obligations. Add to that the pressure to live up to certain standard we see on social media, or the dream of showing that we have made it in life. Because of this, it is easy to focus more on what we want rather than what the company needs. But here's the reality. No company, listen to me carefully, no company will care about your personal goals unless you show how you can help solve their problem first. And this is especially true for responsible organizations that reward effort and results. The key to career growth is simple. Focus on how your work aligns with the company's goals. When you can show how your contributions help the organization succeed, you will naturally stand out. If you don't, you might work hard but still feel overlooked or undervalued. It's all about shifting the focus from what can I get to how can I add value. I know people don't like to hear this one, but that is just the key secret. And a good example of this is a client I once coached. He was frustrated because despite his hard work, he was not getting noticed at his job. He thought he was doing all the right things, but when we looked deeper, the problem became clear. His personal goals did not align with the company's needs. He had spent months improving efficiency in his department, developing a detailed plan to optimize workflows. He felt proud of his work and was excited to present it to the manager. However, when he finally shared it, the responses was not what he expected. His manager appreciated the effort, but explained that the company's main focus at the time was expanding client relationship, not internal processes. And that is when my client realized he had been solving the wrong problem. All his hard work had come towards something the company was not prioritizing. This realization was a tough pill to swallow, but thankfully, he had a friend who helped him see the bigger picture. His friend explained that while his goals were admirable, they did not match, what the company needed at that moment. Instead of giving up, my client decided to shift his focus. He started working on client-related projects using his skills in process improvement to enhance the client onboarding experience. This change made a huge difference. By aligning this effort with the company's priorities, he proved he could adapt and contribute to the organization's strategic goals. And his manager began to see him in a new light, and his work started getting the recognition it deserved. This experience taught him a valuable lesson: the importance of understanding what the company needs and making that the foundation of your efforts. If you want to stand out at work, you need to understand your company's strategic objectives. Take the time to learn what is important to them. This might involve asking questions, paying attention to company's meetings, or observing the challenges your managers are focused on. Once you have this information, think about how your skills can help address these priorities. Let me share a personal example. When I worked as an accountant, I took pride in ensuring the books were balanced and financial reports were delivered on time. I thought I was doing a great job, and to some extent, I was. But over time, I noticed that my work was not standing out in a way that mattered to the company's leadership. My contributions were solid, but they were not directly tied to the company's bigger goals. I decided to take a closer look at how my skills could create more value. Instead of just preparing financial reports, I started analyzing the data for insights that could guide the company's decisions. For instance, I highlighted trends in spending and suggested ways to allocate the marketing budget more effectively. This not only improved returns, but also reduced unnecessary costs. I did not stop there. I also got involved in marketing negotiations, helping the company save money while boosting profitability. By presenting this contribution in a way that directly supported the company's growth strategy, I began to build a reputation as someone who could connect financial insights with broader business goals. And this eventually caught the attention of leadership. When a marketing director role opened up, I was considered because I had shown I could think beyond my accounting role and contribute to the company's overall success. This experience taught me a critical lesson. It is not enough to just work hard at your job. You need to focus on how your efforts align with the organization's priorities. When you do this, you not only stand out, but also create opportunities for growth and advancement. If this resonates with you and you are unsure where to start, my 5-day career progression course can help. It is designed to teach you how to align your skills with your company's needs, stand out in your role, and position yourself for growth. Everything I've shared here is explained in more detail in the course, along with practical tips and examples to guide you. Check the description for detail and take the first step toward transforming your career. Now, the third big mistake many people make in their career is waiting too long to develop leadership skills. Often we assume that leadership is something we will only need once we are promoted to a managerial position or given a leadership title. But here's the reality. If you do not start showing leadership traits now, you may never get that opportunity of leading. Leadership is not something that happens only when you are in a specific role. It is something you develop and demonstrate throughout your career. I have touched on this in a great detail in the 5-day career progression course, and I truly encourage you to take a deeper dive into this course. The course is designed to help you grow in ways that will set you up for success. Through this online program, you will learn the steps to start stepping up and showcasing your leadership potential. Whether it is taking charge of small initiatives, offering valuable solutions during meetings, or helping your team tackle challenges, you will start to see how your action can make a difference. Before you know it, you will be noticed for your ability to lead, and this will quickly propel you forward in your company. Taking an online course like the 5-day career progression course can be a game changer. It allows you to learn at your own pace and gain insight from experts who have been where you are now. It gives you access to valuable tools and strategies that you can apply immediately to your career. This course goes beyond the basics of leadership. It helps you understand how to align your action with the goals of the organization, how to communicate your value to the decision makers, and how to position yourself for career advancement. But the value of this course does not stop with just the content. By completing the 5-day career progression course, you will have the opportunity to schedule a one-on-one career strategy discovery session with me, your coach. This session is a chance to dive deeper into your specific career challenges and goals. We will work together to create a personalized strategy that aligns with your ambitions and helps you overcome the obstacles standing in your way. Whether you are looking for a promotion, a career change, or simply want to improve your current performance, this session will give you the guidance you need to take action. Now, let me share something exciting with you. Our next episode is going to focus on a topic that is crucial for every professional. Top 3 workplace goals for 2025. Whether or not you have set your goals for the new year, this episode will approach goal setting from a fresh perspective. I will highlight the things most professionals often overlook, which can lead to feeling stuck or unaccomplished year after years. Many people find themselves at the end of the year with little to celebrate in their careers, simply because they miss out on the key elements that drive real progress. Don't let 2025 be another year where you feel left behind. I will share powerful insights and practical strategy to help you set goals that truly transform your career. As I mentioned earlier, this podcast is moving to a private platform after this episode. To continue receiving valuable insights and exclusive content like this, be sure to click the link in the description and join us. We cannot wait to welcome you and help you to achieve your professional dreams. This is how I want to end this episode. Quickly head to the description of this video and take the necessary action. Remember, leadership starts with you, your actions, your attitude, and your willingness to take responsibility. The more you show up as a leader in your current role, the faster you will move up in your career. Most importantly, promotions are not just given, they are earned through strategic action and growth. Make your next step count.